Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's been quite some time since we saw an official anti-cheat update or a Ricochet update here in Call of Duty. In fact, the last time we heard of a major anti-cheat update going out was back with Verdansk and the launch of that and the return of that all the way back at Season 3. We've seen a few different blog posts and random tweets here and there since then around Season 3 Reloaded detailing some, data that they had shared at the time from the Season 3 update, but we haven't seen much done for Ricochet in quite some time, which is concerning because it's not getting better. The cheating situation, the hacking situation is not improving in Call of Duty. It's kind of stagnant, or it's potentially getting worse depending on the lobby you're in, right? And obviously Season 4, we didn't see much change there. Season 4 Reloaded, same deal. We did, however, finally see a response from Team Ricochet when it comes to some cheating situations, some hacking situations, and they give us some interesting details. I do think they missed the mark with some of it, but they do also address some other things as well. So we've got this new post from Call of Duty Updates that went live yesterday afternoon, and they detail quite a bit here. So here is what they say. A new update is out for Warzone. This is in regards to World Series of Warzone. Team Ricochet has been working closely with the World Series of Warzone team to conduct a review of accounts participating in the in-game open. Obviously, there's the whole World Series of Warzone qualifier stuff going on right now, and the entire thing was kind of just a massive circus last time because there were so many problems with cheating. There were so many clips floating around of people trying to qualify, and they run into a team of cheaters that's just there specifically to ruin people's chances at qualifying. There are people with names in game trolling the World Series of Warzone. No World Series of Warzone for you, whatever, aimbotting, wall hacking, doing all sorts of stuff. It was a massive problem, and with a tournament this big, this is their big thing for the year for Warzone. The fact that it was overshadowed by the cheating and the hacking situation is an absolutely awful look for Call of Duty. So hence the response here. So they are doing full-on reviews of accounts in this. Here's what we've done to examine the first round of the event. So in response to the major issues with the original qualifiers, they are now doing a bunch of different things. A manual review of the accounts and historical replays of accounts within the top 100 of each region's leaderboard has been completed. So they've gone through and they've manually reviewed. Some team out there has watched hours and hours and hours of gameplay from these people. So the top 100 in every region, every single one of those accounts was manually reviewed. They watched the replays to make sure suspicious things were not going on, right? And if they did find suspicious things were happening, they've taken action. Accounts caught using cheats during or prior to World Series of Warzone have been permanently banned from our games and removed from the leaderboard. So if you are caught using cheats beforehand in public matches and then you enter this qualifier, you're gonna get banned out of there. You're gonna be permanently removed off the leaderboards. No chance to compete there, obviously, as it should be. And then if you're cheating during the event, same deal. They're gonna kick you out of the event, off the leaderboards, permanently banned accounts. The problem is, what are they doing about people who just make another account and then another account and then another account? Because that's the deal with Ricochet. Yeah, it might catch an aimbotter and a wall hacker eventually. The problem is, how long is that going to take in the first place? But then that person can just go make another account 10 minutes later and pick up doing the same exact thing. And that's been a problem since day one. And I have a feeling it's going to resurface here as the qualifiers continue to play out. They also say accounts caught boosting during or prior to World Series of Warzone have also been permanently banned from our games and removed from the leaderboard. So if you're trying to boost any stats there, potentially it's also going to catch you a permaban. Again, though, what's stopping you from just making a new account? Accounts caught teaming during or prior to World Series of Warzone have been disqualified from World Series of Warzone and barred from accessing ranked play modes for the remainder of Black Ops 6. So they're just going to stop you for the next few months, and they don't consider teaming a large enough offense to ban, I guess. So they're just going to kick you out and disqualify you. Kind of an interesting approach, because I feel like teaming kind of falls under the same thing as boosting there. I mean, you're going after the same result there, which is cheating without using full-on cheats. You're just doing it by in-game methods and knowing people participating, right? So I feel like they kind of fall under the same umbrella, but they have two different consequences. It's a little strange in my opinion. They also say teams with a player account actioned against for any of the above will also be fully disqualified from the competition. So if you think, oh, you're going to be safe, you're the best player on the team, so you're going to have someone on your squad aimbot or wall hack and then give you the information and they catch that person, well, that sucks, because your entire team is going to get kicked out. Your entire team will be DQ'd from that. I think if you're willingly teaming with cheaters, that should also just be susceptible to a permaban, in my opinion. Like, there needs to be a zero tolerance thing here in place. They also say, as teams were removed from the World Series of Warzone leaderboard, we conducted account reviews of those that climb into the top 100. So if someone is number 96 and they get DQ'd out and they get banned out, well then whoever comes in and fills that slot back up at 100 as they shift those other spots up, they're going to instantly get that manual review as well. So if you're cracking the top 100, your account is going to be fully reviewed here. We will conduct additional account reviews of participants beyond the qualifying stages. So as they get closer to LAN, I assume once they have the final list, everyone is going to be fully hard checked here, as they should. The fact that they have to explain a lot of this, probably not the best look either. Any account that does not comply with the security and enforcement policy in this process is going to be disqualified from the competition. So they give us a rundown here. They're doing a lot for trying to prevent cheating and stop any cheating or other nefarious things going on in World Series of Warzone. Here's the first miss, though, in my opinion. It's great that we're getting an anti-cheat address here, and we're getting an anti-cheat update in a sense. However, it's just for one specific super niche area of the game, a private qualifier tournament, basically. I mean, it's open in game to qual, but you get what I'm saying here. It's not general ranked play. It's not normal pubs. It's a review tool, basically, for the tournaments. So while everyone else here is still having to deal with an insane amount of cheaters and hackers in games, in pubs, and ranked, they're not really seeing any changes there. There's no addressing of anything going on there. It's just for World Series of Warzone. So that in and of itself is disappointing that this is not a broader, more large scale anti-cheat update, especially considering how long it's been since we got one. However, there are a few replies to this that I do think highlight a few other interesting things. So they give their whole rundown here, and then Isaac responds and says, you should release a public list of all players banned and disqualified and precisely why they were banned or disqualified. Get them out of our scene entirely, not just one event. Good work. And you can see Isaac ratios the Call of Duty Updates Twitter account here with this reply, and I fully agree. If you're getting kicked out of this thing, you should be fully exposed. Your name should be out there so everyone knows, oh, this person tried to boost in World Series of Warzone. He's not playing in any future tournaments, right? This person was caught cheating in the tournament trying to qualify. No one's associating with this clown anymore, right? Like, that needs to be the energy. Full exposure of this, no breaks, full consequences. Like, there needs to be that dedicated list. I think that would be a fantastic idea. Hey, we reviewed the top 100 accounts of every region, and these 14 people, list them name by name, were caught breaking the rules, cheating, or they were trying to boost, or whatever the case is, right? That would be huge in my opinion, wildly helpful. And then you also have this reply from Westy here, which kind of highlights the larger issue, if you will. The fact that you've got to do all this work after the in-game open has already started tells you the whole story. Ricochet is not an anti-cheat, it's a reporting tool, which certainly feels like that's the case a lot of the time. I've already seen countless games, like I've had a whole bunch since Season 4 Reloaded, where I drop in, I die, I start spectating, and I'm like, oh yeah, oh, this guy's cheating, and it's blatant, like this should be obviously caught. We got to rely on reports now, and a few times I've gotten the, hey, we've taken action on your report, and other times it's like, well, I know I reported that guy, he was absolutely cheating, and I still haven't gotten a confirmation message, which is insanely disappointing, right? The biggest FPS game in the world ought to have a far better system in place for detecting and dealing with cheating. This was said back before Warzone and Call of Duty had an official anti-cheat. The fact that we're saying it now again, the exact same sentence, multiple years into Ricochet existing, kind of tells you exactly what you need to know here, right? So while it is nice that we do have new anti-cheat information and new updates coming from the Ricochet team, it's not nearly enough. This is nice. I hope they continue to follow through with this and they are just hammering it down, and there's like absolutely zero leniency here, because it needs to be more strict, it needs to be enforced more harshly, and I hope that it's something that they actually continue to do. It's not just, hey, we're posting this one tweet, see you again in 2 seasons, or see you again just before Black Ops 7, where we'll promise you the anti-cheat's gonna see major updates, and then we get on to Black Ops 7 and it's like, well, no, it's still the same, right? As we've seen before. So curious to see how the situation evolves. I do hope that we start to see more details for what's going on with global anti-cheat updates, because we really, really, really need more in the way of that as well for public matches and ranked matches alike. But we do finally have a response from the anti-cheat team and Team Ricochet here with some anti-cheat updates. It's nice to see that at least. I hope they do continue to do more. That's going to wrap things up for this video, though. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like on it. And if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button on your way out, so you can always guarantee you're up to date with absolutely everything going on in the world of Call of Duty. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.